Him casting
Was I
was
the only
amazing.
one upset
He's
when MC lost
MC and
to Puma that one time, like way long ago?
yeah, I remember that.
That
In
Remember.
that that
NASL,
made me so sad. I'm like, no,
M
MC.
did you guys listen to MC and Marine King cast in broken English?
I did. It
Yeah.
was amazing. And then like, MC would be like, Ghost, Imba," and Marine King's like, what you mean?"
Broken English
And
is best.
when they were casting a PVZ, and Marine King was like, "Oh, 10 or 5 Phoenix counter, 10 Mutalisk that Imba," and he say, "No, they unit counter."
It was really funny. Cause even they were broken English and like they were kind of trolling the entire time, so it wasn't like a pro player like Idra coming on who just was like analysis, analysis, analysis. They came on and they were like, "Hey, you guys want to have some fun?" Yeah. And they
All
just trolled.
analysis all day long.
Yeah.
Oh,
MC won
Idra.
that pretty handily, though. I mean, it was a 4-0 win, right?
MC, yeah, 4-0 in the finals.
I was surprised that in a final match, it would go that one. A lot of finals normally you see like a back and forth, back
Have
and
you
forth.
like
Unless it's
never
GSL.
watched GSL?
Yeah.
Unless it's GSL.
The last
It's
two
like-
GSLs have
GSL
been
usually
different, but
I know, like for like
it's usually
was
just
it
destruction.
9 years
Remember
of
Inca
GSL?
TVT
9
Inca
4-0.
versus
or whatever.
Inca versus Nesty.
I don't think I saw
Yeah,
that
that
one.
was it was a GSL in like it was early 2011, like
Mhm.
May or something.
Oh. Okay, well.
GSL is notorious for
T.
retarded
Anticlimactic-
finals.
and
of just,
anticlimactic,
like,
yeah.
grand finals.
sweet.
Like Nessie versus Lucira, 3 games, just easy peasy, and then the fourth one he trolled. But
GG.
I would have been like crying as Lucira. I'd be like, I'm never gonna surpass him.
I'm
Oh.
never gonna get to the finals again.
No one ever remembers that he's on the same team because Nestie's on that team.
Oh jeez.
Poor Lucira. Ow.
Yeah, really.
Oh well. But yeah, so Home Story Cup was. I didn't actually watch the end, but when I saw it was 4-0, I was like, guess I'm not watching that one.
Pretty anticlimactic.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. But I'm glad to see MC is doing well as Protoss, so Protoss can, stop complaining about being Imba. Or not Imba, being underpowered. Because for a
I
while they
guess.
were, and MC was losing like
Oh,
a
for
boss.
sure.
And then they were like,
There was like once Karen started using ghosts like all the time,
yeah.
it's just like tears everywhere.
Do you know how long Idra's been saying that they should use ghosts? Forever.
Forever.
And then like, they finally do, and they start like dominating Protoss, and Protoss just like goes in a hole and cries.
I was glad to see the EMP nerf, the radius nerf.
Okay,
Yeah,
the
that was a good nerf.
Radius is a good nerf, but at the same time I feel like it's not that great of a nerf. Like, they could have done it completely differently, keep the radius, and like make it so the damage like does the most shield damage in the center and less
Well-
as they get farther out.
That would actually be a good idea.
I like that idea.
So I mean,
Still-
one, you can hit more things and not be, I don't know,
I feel
the
that
shield damage is
opening-
just ridiculous.
opening
Yeah.
Opening High Templar against Terran is not a good thing because of ghosts, but High Templar are really good later in the late game because
They're not being used.
you have the bigger colossi with them.
Yeah, but they're not being used like correctly. Like, I want to see them being used as like Reavers did, and they are. So like MC's doing it, and a few other Protoss are doing it, where they take a shuttle or whatever it's
Yeah.
called, a warp prism.
White Raw,
Yeah, White
Warp
Rock's
Warp
good for it.
prisms are awesome now.
High Templar.
But they're actually like using it like a Reaver, so they have to micro it in battle, which I'm glad to see because like even though Protoss has improved, they're no longer just like, hey, I have like a billion colossi, watch me like raffle stomp you, which was like what they were for
it's
the
less
6 months.
death ball
for
now,
6 months.
like it used to be, which is really nice.
Yeah,
Like,
they're actually starting to micro in the battle, and it's like, wow, Protoss
year
players can
ago,
actually macro.
it was
They've been doing force
select
field micro since the
everything,
beta.
a move.
Force fields are
when-
so easy though. That's not really like people were like, oh, force fields are so hard. And it's like I guess in like really clutch scenarios, force fields can be hard. But if you're just cutting an army in half, like bam, 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 bam,
Exactly.
done.
Split it.
I can do it, and I don't play Protoss that often. But I like the direction they're going. Like Zerg was crying, and then they started to evolve. They got
Zerg
like
always cries.
Zerg has
Zerg
been
was
crying
the
since the
biggest
beta.
criers like a few
Endless
months ago, though.
Zerg.
Zerg could have an 80% win rate. We could give Zerg Colossi, High Templars, and Thors, and they'd still call themselves underpowered.
They'd be like, I don't have enough alarm.
That's because, like,
Hey.
It's like 90% of them aren't pro players, so they don't understand how to play Zerg. So they're like, our units aren't like a movie. It's so it's so imbalanced.
But
And I'm like,
that's the thing.
not
Zerg is
supposed
a
to
movie.
be.
In my opinion, Zerg requires the least micro of the races. Sure, the
like-
macro mechanics are difficult, but at the
It's
at the
different
core,
mic-
it's
different micro
it's
for each
just
race.
take your corruptors, click on Colossi.
No, because you have to get in position. Like, people in the actual battle, micro is not that hard for Zerg, but in regards to positioning and counterattacks, they definitely have a
you
lot more to think
have
about.
with your roaches, you have to have the like perfect conclave.
Yeah, you also have to
Or-
worry about
Yeah.
splitting, but I like the direction of the game is going so well. Like, I remember 6 months ago, people were like, oh, it's so imbalanced, oh, I can't do this, oh, this doesn't work, oh, blah, 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 blah. And
Blizzard-
now people are like, hey,
Blizzard is doing a good job. Blizzard is definitely doing a good job of balancing
I
the
think
game.
they are.
It's getting there.
Lots of people would disagree, but and the thing is, like, they shouldn't even have to, honestly. I think some things deserve to be balanced, but some things just were a metagame thing, and people didn't give it enough time. They were just, like, crying foul that Blizzard made the
Like-
stupidest game, and
Well,
they're
yeah,
like,
there definitely is a
actually,
difference between
What is it? Templar, Amulet, whatever,
Kaldarian
whatever that.
Keldar,
Yeah,
Keldar.
I was so mad when that was gone.
Yeah,
I mean,
me
they
too.
could've-
I
they
miss
could've
it so
Billionaire
much.
nerfed it.
Protoss.
So it did less energy to them,
Well,
not
then
just
it
like
wouldn't be.
completely
It wouldn't have
remove
a
it.
point. Like, its
Because
point was to
before,
give you a storm.
like instant storm, but I mean, you still have to wait a while.
Isn't
for,
it plus 25 energy?
That was
Yeah, plus 25. It's basically the Protoss equivalent to
and like
To
with
Obvious
Zerg,
react-
nothing against Zerg, but they have
Infector.
like a million
Infestor.
upgrades that give them like energy upgrade. Wait, no, that's Terran
You
that
mean
has a million
Warren?
energy.
Terran
Everyone
and
has
Zerg have an
energy
equivalent
plus,
Cater and
and-
Amulet.
Yeah,
Uh,
Protoss is the only one who doesn't have an energy upgrade now, but that's because their drops
bright-
are the worst.
To be fair, Storm is probably the greatest of EMP, Fungal, and
Yeah, if you can get it
and-
off, it's definitely much
if you
more worth
if
it.
you
Nah,
hit it, it's good, but you can move out of it, unlike Fungal, which keeps you there. Fungal versus Stalker, Link Stalkers especially, is just like the worst feeling in the world.
And you know what
can't
Protoss
do
learned to
anything.
do? They learned to split their army, for God's sakes. That's another
Yeah.
thing Protoss learned to do, is
True.
split their army so EMPs don't hit everything. And they weren't doing that at first, and it's like, hey, now the game's actually interesting to
I
watch.
heard some.
well, when you move your army, High Templars naturally ball
Yeah.
up together. They like gravitate towards each other, and
Especially,
that's automatic.
It's like if you're blinking towards something, everything just kind of like clumps together, and it just makes it.
Yeah,
Well, this is
really-
like...
and it's actually bad if Stalkers have to be in a ball to work effectively, because if they're not, then Lings just destroy them.
If you go Lings, but
It's
if you
kinda
go
like
Colossi
Marines.
or... People rarely
Well,
go.
it's hard. It depends, I guess. Like, usually if like the Zerg's on like retreat, sometimes you're like chasing them down or something. Like, I know I've spammed some Zerglings to like just be buffer
Oh, yeah,
food.
sure, yeah.
Juan, you started saying something about the whole.
Not exactly.
You don't think
Protoss.
that Storm is the
I
best?
feel like the Storm. I understand how you can use a fungal growth to keep an army in a single place while you can move your army up, and a Storm is more. Do you use Storms more to do damage, or how often do you use a Storm just to try to get away? I don't know. I just feel like there's more of an advantage in a fungal growth that does, even if it only does half the damage that a Storm
Yeah,
can do.
because I mean, an army in one spot is a lot easier to take down than one that can still move around like Storm. Like if Storm goes down, like you see Marines like run out of it all the time. They don't just sit in a storm.
Right,
But
which
if
is...
they're fungled, they sit there, and if they stemmed and get fungled, those Marines are pretty much dead.
He dropped her.
And I think that
Yeah.
shows nice going, Daniel. I think that shows a change in the game, as Juan was saying, from Storm, which was when there were big army fights and they were just, okay, my blob versus your blob, see who wins. Now it's more, okay, position. We got to fungal there and move my army back, especially as Zerg, because as Zombie said, Zerg is a lot about positioning. It may not be a lot about. It may also be about moving, but a lot of it's getting your army in the right position, making sure you're ready to counterattack at the right spots, which is why Fungals made it a lot more positioning-based game,
Yeah,
at least in the matchup.
I think it's equal. Like you can complain that like some people are stuck, some people can make you stuck, but in the end, you know, they're gonna have to move out of your storms. You're gonna have to split your army. It's
Mhm.
Yeah.
it's pretty balanced as
As
far
I
as.
said, it kind of felt like it wasn't a good argument anymore.
Well, that's because like everything
like-
that anyone argue that's about balance can be answered with, yeah, but the other guy has something else to do too. So it's not like
Yeah.
one race is like actually a moving, which isn't the case anymore.
Right, that's true.
But enough about balance.
And
We weren't going to talk about balance.
What balance
Yeah.
changes do you think that
Well,
from?
We're
Hey,
trying
I
to
have-
stay away from balance talk, Pat.
No, I wasn't. I'm not talking about now what we need to have balance. I was more talking about
Oh.
what balance changes do you think that Blizzard has made that particularly made the game better? Like, do you remember any specific? Because I can
All of them.
remember.
I think all of them were good. I don't.
Well,
Yeah.
know.
One that I guess was good, but I still don't like, was the Void Ray crystal getting removed.
Yeah,
That's
the,
not-
I mean, I don't get people
Flux
say
Veins.
Void Rays are imba,
Flux-
but it's like Void Rays. They're only good
They're
if you let
slow
them
as
get
hell.
them masked.
Yeah. Like any unit,
Like,
though.
That's not true at all.
One
That's not-
queen can take down a Void Ray. It's kind of like a 1-1
There's
trade.
there's an there's an
And most
opening in,
don't have just one queen by the time Void Rays are out.
but listen, there's an opening in PvZ that's really popular in Korea, and I've been using it because it's really good. Standard Forge Fast Expand, you research +1 attack, you do Zealot Void Rays, and it's not an all-in, it's just pressure, but it often wins the game because you
Yeah.
have your Zealots occupying the Queen's like time,
Right.
and Zealots are really freaking good, and the Void Rays are shooting like whatever is near like Rook or whatever.
Right.
If they go Hydras, the Zealots beat them. If they go Roaches, they keep it up.
Right.
Yeah,
It's really
so-
good. And then
yeah.
after you do damage, you can just transition out of it and build Colossi if they went too many Hydras.
I think that's
True.
actually a really good matchup is the whole Void Ray opening because it's very like timing dependent. So who gets Hydras before Colossi or who gets Colossi before Hydras or what have you, unless they
Yeah.
get Vita. But that's another discussion.
Didn't Day9 do a daily on that whole topic of fast air and how the air of Protoss can be used?
that was a long time ago. That's like...
No, he did one.
Oh, really?
A few,
Yeah, there was a recent one.
there was a
It
recent
was,
one,
yeah.
and he went really in depth, and I think it was Hero. I think it was Hero that he went
Probably.
whose video because
Hero's
Hero's
amazing.
really
He
good.
does everything good.
He likes
loves
he does
Hero.
like air opening.
He's
Well, how
crushing
can
it.
you not love
I
Hero?
was so happy when Hero won
I
back.
And
Yeah.
then so devastated when he lost an ASL.
Don't
Yeah.
even bring that up.
Oh, that's funny. But
Hero's so lovable.
yeah,
He
he
does
is.
so many stuff with Protoss. And
he does. He's like a genius when it comes to pros. He just does everything, and he can get it to work no matter what it is.
I think
it's great.
he's
Yeah.
so lovable though because he's like the most human out of anyone. So like people don't consider Idra human, so maybe he's not like.
No.
But like Hero actually has
Well,
nerves. Like nerves affect him
he's
all
like-
the time. So you're like always like, come on, Hero, you can do it. You got it.
Like you can feel like he's an actual person, not like an actual pro gamer who's like
yeah.
emotionless.
Yeah.
And
Well,
that's
it's
actually
not it's
Go
not
ahead,
that other
Daniel.
gamers are emotionless. It's that
What?
they have-
Yeah. It's just.
Have you? I don't know if you guys have ever like gone to a lot of tournaments for any game, but in your first few tournaments for your game, you're nervous as hell. You're not going to be able to play. But
Right.
if you go to more, you feel very comfortable.
Yeah.
True.
But he has like so many moments where like you're always
He's
afraid
still-
he's gonna crash because of nerves.
He's still very new. I think. Like he's been playing for a while, but he's new to like being on televised tournaments.
Hmm. Yeah.
What I was gonna say earlier that you guys brought up about Hero's playstyle and the fact that he is so innovative and he tries everything. Who would you say, just a quick poll, is the biggest, not the best player, but the biggest pioneer for their race as of right now in StarCraft 2?
I like TLL
The
for
Slayers
Zerg.
team.
He's pretty awesome for Zerg right now. Not gonna lie.
He
Like,
hasn't got anything
The
new
TLO
though.
plays are
well,
Yeah, he does. He
when he
hasn't
first started
he's
when he
taken
first started
Stefano and Spanishiwa
playing
style.
Zerg, he started doing some things I don't see people do very often, which
Like
is a
overdrops
lot
or
of
queen spine
yeah, with
pushes
the
against Zerg.